cost at least $3. All right, questions?
Did you see the replay of the Frank Mason hustle play?
Yeah.
And what do you think now about it?
It's the best play that we've had here in a long time. You know, Jamari's play last year was an unbelievable play. He made it Austin. It ended up being a better play because we scored off of it. Of course, Frank would have saved everybody, saved him a lot of fatigue if he would have just, you know, deflected it out of bounds. But to see the dive and to see him pop back over the table and then run back in and not know who he's guarding and find the open man and then go steal the pass and, you know, dribble down and dribble it off his leg out of bounds, you know, kind of negated the hustle. But if he'd have finished that play, they'd go down as the best hustle play in college basketball this year.
How much do you marvel, not just the hustle, but just, I mean, like knowing where to go, the rotation, and just being in the right spot at the right time?
You know, I would say if, you know, he can count to 9. And so when you run on the court, you can see where there's got to be some guy open. I mean, I mean, he deserves credit for that, but I mean, every point guard should be able to see that. I thought have the presence of mind to get to the open man was great, but you know that wasn't what made the play. The major play to me was between the legs, the two-head dive over the table. Somebody said they saw him fall. That was close, and I think he fell and hurt himself a little bit. I know he definitely complained of all the soreness after that on his side, and then to get up and then go make that play, I thought was pretty incredible. I never do this, but we called timeout and actually took a full right there just so he could try to get his wind.
I think it's like 75% of the games in the league play this year are decided by single digits. Does it seem like everything's tighter this year for whatever reason, not just near games?
No, it is tighter.
Yeah.
I think sometimes fans equate parity or closeness to not playing well, and that's not been the case at all. I think any win's a good win regardless of where you play. I mean, look at Baylor, Oklahoma State last night. That was another great game that came down to the last possession. And, you know, I think our record's 9-2, and I could be wrong on this. Gary can correct me if I am. I think we've been behind at least 8 points in 5 of them, of our wins, and behind double figures at least in 4 of our wins. So, you know, I don't think that in the past years when we've gone 14-4, 15-3, or whatever, I don't think that you would have said that. So, very competitive.
Did overcoming these deficits tell you anything about your team's resiliency?
You know what, I maybe a little bit, but you know, first half deficits aren't the biggest thing in the world. It just makes your margin of error a little bit smaller. Obviously, that you can't let 10 become 18. But I think our guys have showed some toughness. Last time I said we were a pretty tough team. We gave up 18 threes, so I'm not going to give them that much credit at all. Other than the fact that I do think that they've shown stretches where they've been pretty tough.
You seen much difference between Texas Tech, I mean, Beard going through it for that first time, and how they progressed over the conference?
You know what, from the tapes that I've seen, to me, it looks like they're still trying to do the same stuff. Their personnel, you know, he's tinkered with his lineup some, playing a little bit bigger. You know, they were playing 2 small guards early on, and they still are some, but not as much. I think it's pretty much the same team on what they're trying to accomplish: run motion and give the defense a chance to break down.
Bill, 24 games, I think, into the season, I'm sure you got a pretty good feel about where this team is at. How do they compare? How are they similar? How are they different than some of the great teams of the past?
Well, I actually think that we're better on the perimeter than some of those great teams that we've had. As far as guys being able to get their own shot and make plays, but you know, you go back and you think, well, Tyshawn, Elijah, and Travis, and you know, Sharon Russell, Mario, and Brandon. I mean, we've had some pretty good squads. I'd say the biggest difference is just style of play. We're going to play 4 guards, basically. You know, may fluctuate a little bit, but we're going to play 4 guards 160 minutes, and 5 guards 160 minutes, and But we've never done that before. And our inside depth obviously hasn't been what it has been on some past teams. So situations become more important this year as far as, 2 fouls in the first 12 minutes can be a big thing, where in the past that was never that big a thing, because we've always had guys that could come in and not take a step backwards, maybe a step sideways. So I think that those are the biggest things, but it's nice to have the ball in those guys' hands late game. I think that's a big advantage.
You still got
Knock
work
on
to
wood.
do, obviously, to win the league and win your games remaining, but do you start looking at what you want to fine tune and things like that over the next 7 games to be ready for the postseason, or is that an every game sort of thing?
I think that's more of an every game sort of thing. One thing about, we don't need to get ahead of ourselves at all, but one thing about our league map that I'm sure you agree with, you get different styles. Baylor, more of a grinded out zone. K-State has their own style. West Virginia's a totally different style. Oklahoma State's a totally different style than that. Texas Tech is more conventional, but they play motion, which is a totally different style than 90% of the teams in the country play. So I don't think you have to worry about as much about thinking way ahead, because I think the teams right in front of you probably prepare you as well as anything else.
You talked about liking some of the things you did defensively against K-State. Did you see your guys make some progress there on Monday?
Well, I thought we were a lot better Monday than we were Saturday. I thought our energy level was a lot better. Our first shot defense was really good. We didn't rebound the ball as well as we'd like to, and but I actually thought we competed hard defensively, and even though it may not seem like a minor thing, but our defense and our hands and our some steals led to 4, 6, or 8 points, which is points you don't have to earn when you're playing against a pretty solid defensive team. So that was pretty big for us.
Do you think Bragg had fresh legs? And what do you expect from him?
I don't know why he wouldn't have had fresh legs. He's been practicing with us, but he hadn't been traveling and playing in the game. So, but I didn't think anybody else. I thought Frank looked like he had fresh legs. I thought Devontae did. I don't think there was anything. Late in the game when we got tired, of course, you don't have the same bounce and energy. But when a guy's only playing 15 minutes a game or whatnot, and he's had a little bit of a break here of late, there's no reason why he shouldn't have had fresh legs. So I think he was pretty bouncy.
Is his ankle okay?
I think so, yeah. He practiced yesterday, so we shot yesterday, and then the guys that haven't played a ton of minutes practiced. So hopefully we got kind of a combination of having to work out in and keeping guys off their feet for the most part as well.
We just got to talk to Devontae. What's your evaluation of where he's at right now in this game?
I think he's played well. He probably hadn't stood out in large part because Frank's probably had the ball more, but he's been solid. He's been rock solid. He's shooting a pretty decent percentage beyond the arc. He's had some great defensive moments for us. Some not so great, but I think he's certainly gaining on that. But I think he's, what's he averaging, 13 a game, and shooting a pretty good percentage and being solid and kind of being the Robin as opposed to Batman, which I think is pretty solid. I think he's had a really good year, but probably not the year that you would maybe think after the way he finished last year, because he was the best player in the Big 12 tournament, and then he played well in the NCAA tournament. So there may be the appearance that he may go to a whole nother level, and I think he has really improved. I just think the way that the ball is being distributed now, he probably hadn't had as many chances.
With you guys playing Big Monday so often, it kind of feels like it's almost every week. Is it a bigger benefit to get kind of the 5 days in between, or is it more of a detriment?
I was asked that question earlier. I think I personally am not crazy about Big Monday games because it's such a quick turnaround, and the prep time. I think every coach would like to have another day to prep, but the only way you can get 2 days off in a week is to play Saturday, Monday. So in this situation late in the season, it may be a blessing. If you win Monday, you can go off Tuesday and go ridiculously light, or off Wednesday, and you still get your 2 prep days. Whereas if it's any other time, you're just going to get your 1 day off. There's no other way around it. So I think that it's good if you win. If you don't win, I don't think it's very good. and, you know, the hard games, I mean, all the big Monday games are the toughest games, because that's the way they set it up, so, and they should set it up that way, so at least on paper. So, I think we've got only one game left, it's not Big Monday, finishing the season in the last 3 weeks, and that's TCU, so, if I'm not mistaken, I believe OU and which West Virginia is, so we're gonna have to enjoy them regardless.
Hey, quickly, I guess with the, not really into politics with you, but the scheduling thing maybe with California and
Yeah.
kind of them, but does that change things for you guys scheduling wise? And do you worry about the future and maybe some of the options you'll have if Linus is?
I think, I personally, and I could be wrong on this, because I'm not sure how that law is written, if it affects Stanford, because a private school or not, I didn't know if it was just public schools, but is that
It
right?
doesn't affect Stanford at all.
It's public schools, but you look at it, you know, if I'm not mistaken, isn't UCLA public? You know, isn't California public, San Diego State public? There's a lot of things going on, if I'm not mistaken on that. So those are schools that we'd like to schedule, and of course we were gonna schedule Cal, or at least planning to, and you know, a home and home. So, yeah, I think it's gonna impact us. Larry probably could answer that better than me, since he handles, our scheduling, but you know, it's certainly not a positive thing, moving forward. I know the issues out there are far greater than men's basketball scheduling. I don't think any legislators are really thinking about that as far as reasons why they do or don't. But certainly, we're gonna be impacted, somewhat. I just don't know how much. Okay.